Today's match, Liverpool takes on Brighton. Brighton comes out in a 5-2-1-2. Liverpool comes out in a 4-3-3. But seeing as we're playing against another team that is going with a back five, there's an adjustment with the front three. We have Salah and Jota, who look to position themselves between the wide center back and the wing back. And then we have Firmino, who's tasked with taking the eye of the center back. And in doing so, what we're going to see is that Minamino and Milner position themselves again in zone 2 and zone 4. The reason for this is that it takes the eye of the holding midfielders of Brighton. And if they're going to go and do this, then what that causes is if the ball is with the midfielder or if it's with Milner, with a movement from Firmino to drop in, this takes the eye of this center back and it allows the opposite side to make a run in here or off his back shoulder to the inside. So positioning in here allows him to take the attention of two players, and without Firmino just sitting in a high position, allowing him to pass him along, he sits in the gap between the back three and the front two, so it forces him to make a decision. Does he follow and allow this to happen? Or with this, does he pass him along and tell that player to come inside? And then if we see that the ball is here and passed out, if he was to go here, that allows the space to come inside. So the positioning of these two, plus Firmino, and then Minamino and Milner positioning themselves deeper in zones 2 and zone 4, takes the eye of the midfielders and allows a little bit more space to our fullbacks as well to provide us width. Now, out of possession, Liverpool expected Brighton to do what they did initially, a team that likes to be expansive and play through the thirds. But they brought a surprise. This time, there was less play from their back three trying to find the midfielders, and what they would do is they would skip the midfield press of Liverpool and look to go directly over to the top, look for knockdowns. If they could play higher up the pitch, they would, but really, it was balls over in, set into these midfielders, and then could they use their numerical advantage to get in. At the same time, when Liverpool was caught out, let's say that the ball was higher up the pitch on their left side, as this came in here, this is one of the many center back combinations that Klopp has had to utilize with Liverpool this year. And in doing so, you could see that there was a little bit of disconnect in terms of the communication and their movement. The reason why they got caught out at the very beginning is that we would see that Fabinho would step to deal with either the man on the ball or to the threat, and then we'd have Phillips who would be holding the line deeper. Well, that's an easy run for any center forward at this level. Make that run in behind, the ball gets played. The ball gets set in, and then it gets played. But this miscommunication between the center backs caught them out tremendously in the first half. Now, as we progress into the second half, Klopp takes off Nico Williams, brings in Jordan Henderson as holding midfielder, and moves Milner out to right back. For me, Henderson was the player of the match. When he came on, he allowed Wijnaldum to push higher up to the pitch like he does for his national team. He does a great job as the 6 when we need him to, but at the same time, he's so threatening in behind with runs from deep, aerial balls from the opposite side, as well as providing adequate cover for Robertson to push on, and that was the big difference for them when Henderson came on. Wijnaldum to take up a higher position, which meant that Robertson could get on against the wing back of Brighton, which meant that our forwards could be in attacking positions and we didn't have to necessarily always play through the center, but we could utilize the width more.